Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, welcome back. This is Ari Galper, your host and presenter of Unlock the Sales Game, the series. And hopefully you've been watching the series for the last few days, last few weeks, and you've been enjoying it. You've been learning how to build trust with people, how to be humble, how to make more sales, and of course, how to connect with people at a very deep level. So today's segment will be about how to cold call without fear of rejection. Now imagine that for a moment. Be able to make up the phone in the morning, making a sales call without having any fear at all? That's almost hard to believe, isn't it? But today, I'll be walking you through our Unlock the Game process for how to build trust over the phone with someone you don't even know. This should break through any fear holding you back from the phone to get you excited about making sales every day, and this should change your life for those of you who make a living using the phone to make a sale. All right? That's the plan for today. Let's move forward. So let's first start by recapping the mindset, because the mindset is very important here. If I began this talk and gave you all the languaging to use and words to use without the right mindset on, it would become scripted, unnatural for you. Let's walk through now our Unlock the Game mindset and our philosophy first before we introduce this whole idea about how to make cold calls without fear. Okay? So the typical way of selling, typical mindset of sales trainers, the traditional way, is usually to make a hard pitch. Pitch what you do. Don't focus on the truth right in the moment. Just make your sales pitch, and hopefully the sale goes well. Our approach basically is first diffuse pressure first, then get to the truth of the person, see if there's a match or not. If there's a match, then you focus on solving their problems. That is our philosophy. Again, it's diffusing pressure, get to the truth, and solve the problem. That's our pillars of our philosophy and our program, and that's the whole mindset behind what we do. With that now wedged in your mind, let's now move into the whole idea behind selling and making a sales pitch. Now here's the downside of just pitching what you do, of talking about your features and benefits. The problem with just pitching what you do is that it pushes people away. People sense they're being pressured on. They feel like the dialogue is beginning about talking about the solution, not about the problem. And also, it can become hypey. You can come across in a way where you're so excited about what you do, they have no chance to really assess how much they trust you. And you've heard before the old sales gurus who told us, hey, be excited, love what you do. The problem is if you love what you do and you meet someone for the first time on the phone and you start being enthusiastic with them about your solution, what are they thinking? They're thinking, salesperson. Oh my God, pushing the wall back goes back up, and all of a sudden now it becomes a battle between you and them. So we're talking today about shifting away from your features and benefits because you're less effective and moving towards an approach where you're building trust with people. Now here's what I discovered over my years of working with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and salespeople. I realized that most people who sell only focus on the surface level of the communication with clients on the phone. When they're making cold calls, they say very surface level, very detached. They have a very difficult time going deep into a conversation with people. You'll see in that slide there with the image of the iceberg that most people stay what I call at the surface level of communication. They kind of talk about people's businesses, they say focus up on this level here, but if you can today make a breakthrough and learn how to go deep into the truth level of people, to connect with people at a human level where they connect with you, not just about the business solution, but about you as a person, that creates a huge breakthrough for those of you who are making cold calls every day. Because we're so used to rejection, a lot of us come to work every day carrying what I call sales armor on, right? The sales armor, you come to work ready for the battle, ready to fight the call, ready for rejection. You begin to shift away from who you are and lose your authenticity. So we'll talk today about how to move from the surface level of communication to the truth level of communication. And the way you do that is you shift from your solution to the core problems you help your clients solve. Now here's the thing. Most of us are our identity is so tied to our solution. When people say, what do? We start talking about what? Well, I'm an insurance, I'm a coach, I sell this. We start talking about our solution. That becomes who we are. But today I'm going to talk to you how to shift away from talking about your solution and focusing on their problems. When you are clear on your potential clients' and prospects' problems, that becomes the anchor on how to initiate dialogue with them away from any pressure that might be triggered that ruins the trust between you and them, okay? So when you're clear on a client's problems, what happens is that becomes the core center of your sales process. That becomes the anchor that you carry through the entire process all the way to the end, so you don't default back to having to pitch what you do. If you focus on their core issues, that becomes a connector, a bridge between you and them, okay? So today we're talking about ways to focus on core problems. And let me tell you this much. If you are clear on the issues you help your clients solve, when you go to a networking meeting, you meet someone for the first time, and they say to you, well, what do you do? Rather than saying, well, I'm an insurance agent, and I do this, or I sell software, what you're going to say instead is you're going to say, after this segment, you're going to say to them, well, I help my clients, or I help business owners, or I help these people solve 3 problems. And you're going to lay them out, 1, 2, and 3. See, when you begin the dialogue focusing on someone else's problem, that takes the shift and burden away from you, having them pitch what you do, which is premature to the relationships. The whole idea of problem centering and being anchored around their issues is very key to making cold calls without the fear of rejection. Now, when you understand their problems, what happens is, if you understand them better than they themselves, you can actually articulate their issues better than they can. And when you can do that with someone, what happens is they feel understood by you. When you can describe their issues and problems that are happening in their business every single day in a way they can't even do it, that creates so much trust because they feel like, they say to themselves, wow, this person actually, it's almost like he works here. He understands our world so well that, by gosh, we should talk to this person. So when you begin to enter a dialogue with someone selling, you want to begin with a framework of thinking and focusing on their issues, not just your solutions, okay? You want to shift from being a salesperson to what I call being a problem solver, right? So the image to the left is what a typical sales stereotype image is of a person selling, right? And the other person to the right there is of course, image of doctor, but it's someone who's trusted, someone who's a problem solver. So look at those 2 images there. When you're making cold calls, how do you feel like you're coming across? How are you being received? Are you triggering pressure from people, being rejected? That may be because your approach is triggering off the negative image of the image to the left on that screen there. But to the right, if you look at the other image of the doctor, he's projecting, prescribing solutions to problems, he is listening, he is connecting, and he's being present in the moment with the patients, in your case, the client's possible problems. So we can shift you today from the salesperson stereotype into that shifting of the trusted advisor into the problem solver. That'll make a huge headway in your ability to make those cold calls without ever having to experience or triggering rejection ever again, okay? And let me tell you this much, when you actually can focus on their core problems, your client's core problems prior to the actual call, I'll say prospects for now, what happens is that now attracts the right people to you. It's the ultimate filter. It's like a lead magnet. By you saying, I help clients solve these issues, and the person you're calling has those problems, there's instant connection between you and them without having to fight the battle of who we are, what we do, why we're better, without pitching yourself to death, basically. So once you have clarity on that, that now becomes the bridge between you and them. That becomes the anchor, the way for you and them to discuss their issues without having to fight the battle of them thinking all you want to do is make that sale. That's the real key here, is to be able to convey to someone on the phone that you're here to listen, to solve a problem, and focus on their issues, not attempt to just pitch what you do. So let me share with you some ideas now about how you can go about solving people's problems and what are they all about, right? So let me give you an example. So the one way to get clear on the problems you help people solve is to basically re-engineer from your solution down to their core problem. Backtrack it, okay? Let's do an example. Let's say, for instance, that in this example, you sell cloud storage space, right? You sell cloud space storage for companies to upload documents there, right? Let's say that's your solution. You sell that software, okay? So we start with the solution. Now, from the solution piece, we look at the features, right? So one core feature of your solution might be we consolidate documents from multiple sources into one such a repository. That could be a core feature, right? Then from there you convert the feature into what we call a benefit, right? So a benefit to that could be everyone in the company can view the documents from their desktop in one application. That is the benefit. So we have the solution, we have the feature, we have the benefit. Now, the fourth and last step is converting a benefit into the problem. So what's the core problem that feature solves, right? And here it is. The core problem is it solves the problem of lost paperwork and delays in approvals that come from documents not being routed into one location. Now that is the core problem that solution solves. And we had to go through a 4-step process to get to that, but you can kind of reverse engineer your features into the core issues you help people solve. Then you find your core problems to use in your outbound call calling and the marketing as well. So that's the process I took you through a minute ago. You can just do the same thing at home in your office, take your features, backtrack them, convert them back to the benefits, and then down to the actual problems you solve. That lower layer is what you're going to be using to make your outbound calls. Okay? Another example, another way to identify the core problems you help people solve or your clients solve, and this might not be surprising to you, is to actually ask your current clients, call them on the phone and say to them, what are the 2 or 3 or 4 core problems, the main problems that have gone away when you bought our services, when you bought our solution? What are the issues that went away? And they'll tell you in their own words what the issues are that went away. And you need to write those down immediately, because the words they use are going to be the same words you use to make your outbound calls to connect to your market. Okay, so I gave you so far 2 examples. One way is to reverse engineer your solution, right? Solution, features, benefits, problem. To get the core problems, or you can ask your current clients, what are the 2 or 3 or 4 or main issues that have gone away ever since using our solution? They'll tell you this over the phone. You write them down, and those core issues will be the anchor, the goal that'll hold you through the entire sales process without having to worry again about being rejected or pitching what you do. All right? So let's talk about the core problems you solve. Now, very important is these issues have to be very, very.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.